Today I'll be sharing with you one of my favorite techniques to color. I often enjoy this and I think you will love it too. Hi there everyone, welcome to Creative Coloring with Iram. I'm Iram Tasneem and today I wanted to share with you this card that a lot of people wanted me to do a tutorial for. So here I am sharing this monochromatic card with heat embossing and artist marker coloring. It looks super gorgeous after you are done with it. For this project I'll be using the Spring Daisy stamp set. And I'll be using frosty pink cardstock, stamping the images in Coral Bliss dye ink. Now you can use any pink ink that you want or any color ink that you want that will not show through the embossing. Make sure to leave the stamp images in the stamp positioner because we are going to be stamping over this again with the clear embossing ink. Next, I am going to color the images with artist marker, starting with Coral Berry. I'm going to add the Coral Berry pigment next to the flower center and where my shadows are. This is the pigment that will show depth after you are done adding the heat embossing. So you don't need a lot of detail there, but just a dark pigment to show through after heat embossing. So this pigment needs to be added quite a lot so that it is visible later on. The next color to go on there is Peach Perfect. I know this doesn't go with the pink, but I love to add Peach Perfect with this pink. What this does, it adds a little bit of interest and takes away from the pinkiness of the flower. It adds a yellow tone to the flower. By adding Peach Perfect, the flowers stand out a bit from the background. The last color to go on there is Frosty Pink, which essentially is used to blend the Peach Perfect and the Coral Berry. I'm going to color all the petals in the same manner, just making sure that I add a lot of Coral Berry on there so that the darker portions are more visible. If I notice that the Coral Berry pigment is not as prominent, then I'll go back in and add more Coral Berry pigment. And it doesn't matter that if the Coral Berry pigment is not well blended. As long as it's there and it's visible, then we can have the sense of depth there after the heat embossing. For the flower center, I'm going to use a bunch of browns and I will start by adding a light color to the flower center, then add darker tones by adding them as stippling. You will not notice this later on once you add heat embossing, so you don't have to worry too much about blending. Once this is done, I am going to put this image back into the stamp platform and stamp the image again, this time in embossing ink. But before doing that, make sure your image is completely dry and treat the paper with anti-static powder. Stamp the image in embossing ink and then pour over Peach Perfect embossing powder and heat set it. For my leaves, I'll use the same pink cardstock, the frosty pink. I'll stamp in Coral Bliss dye ink and use the coffee break set of artist markers from dark to light to color the leaves. It's not something very detailed. I'll just add dark pigment in the center and then blend it out with the lighter markers. Next, on a Crest Solar White cardstock, I will use cotton candy dye ink and a large blending tool. And then I will just start ink blending from one edge from the lower left corner and start blending towards the top right corner. This is something I wanted to do because my arrangement is going to be on the bottom left portion. So that's where my concentration of ink is going to be. And it's going to go softer as I move towards the top right portion. Next, I will add few fine black paint splatters. And I'll also add a few gold paint splatters. Then I'll add foam tape to my images and adhere them to the card front. And that's it, my card is done. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I absolutely love this technique of combining artist marker with heat embossing, and I love the results. I hope you liked it as well and would try it. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Hello there! Did that video just spark your creativity? And do you want more project ideas and inspiration videos too? Well, if you do, please make sure that you subscribe to the Altenew YouTube channel. Also, make sure that you do click that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye!